Hello, friends. How are you? Friends, after and you have felt yourself 100% and you know who you are, you also face the fact that, life is a cycle and it happens every day. And those who know that this is how the cycle goes, they nevertheless they want to make it a little more interesting because otherwise you say I'm bored. When you say I'm bored, are you looking at the boredom also? Because that is where the pleasure is. When you look at the fact that neither boredom nor pleasure is a fact, the fact is the observer, is the witnessing awareness, that is where you feel good about it. And that is where you know that yes, you are anchored in the truth. Because truth is nothing but observer, truth is nothing but witnessing awareness, truth is nothing but the spirit in you, which goes on observing, which goes on looking at things and notices and then proceeds further. But however, sometimes if I feel that, because of lack of sleep or something, the brain is a little slow, what I do immediately is very interesting thing, This is here a small book on brain boosting, right? And I read anything out of it. And here it is: enjoyable ambiguity, paradoxes, and optical illusions, right? So you just read a little bit out of it, this, and you are back into the groove of speed and activity, because it says that you have the capability of being rational, you have the capability of being analytical, you have the capability of being united, but at the same time ambiguity, uncertainties, these are also the things which add color to your life. Because when you're rational, when you are using some dimension 100% sure in the same way, which is routine, we call it monotony. Now what, right? And then you go ahead and do things like which you have never done before, like which you're not doing as a routine, but little bit out of turn, and then you enjoy it because your awareness knows that it could be better, it could be new, it could be renewed. So, what does it says here? I'll read it out for you. You will also like it. The romantic poet John Keats only once mentioned one of his core ideas about creativity, which he called his negative capability. In a letter to his brother, dated Sunday, December 21, 1817, Keats wrote at once, "It struck me what quality went to form a man of achievement, especially in literature, and which Shakespeare possessed so enormously. I mean, what he's talking is negative capability. I mean, negative capability. That is when man is capable of being in uncertainties, mysteries, doubts, without any irritable reaching after facts and reason." So, this is what it says, that according to David Rock, author of Your Brain at Work, Strategies for Overcoming Distractions, Regaining Focus, and Working Smarter All Day Long, the brain is primed to experience at least a mild threat from most forms of uncertainty. The brain is primed to face a little bit of threat. And how I felt it, what happened yesterday night? I was sleeping and I faced the threat. I was sleeping, and then my grandson came from the other room and he just fell on my face. He just fell on my face and he slept on me. And I shouted and I screamed. That is where I felt fear at that time. But he was so calm in his, and he was so full of love that he slept on my face only. But, after that, I also felt a kind of calm. I felt, oh, child, knows everything, pure consciousness. He fell on you, he slept in a jiffy, and he has left me wondering what has he done, right? this is how your mind is capable of facing little bit of threat and uncertainty, but that also gives you a jolt, and when it gives you a jolt, you come back refreshed. So whenever it's like this, that I feel that I need to renew myself, I do something which I've never done before. And then we all know that we are nature and we'll come back again and again, and prakritim swam vishtbhav punarjanma puna puna, again and again we are coming. And how do we come, where do we start from? We start from stability, and then we go to creativity, right? And then from creativity you have to come back to stability. You start from the base, which is stability, and then you go to creativity, and then you come back to stability, right? Then again you start from creativity and you go to empowerment, right? Stability is here, stability is here, then you come back to stability, right? Then from stability you go to love, care, compassion, celebration, and then you come back to stability. Then from stability you go to intellect, you come back to stability, right? And then from stability you go back to unity and you come back to stability. Why is it that we are returning from stability? We are doing jumping of the frequency from one frequency, right? Stability is a different frequency, wisdom is entirely a different frequency, right? But we go from here to here, there's a jump of frequency. So but when we take the jump and when we take the leap, we are aware of it, that we are taking a leap, and then we come back to stability. And this is how you remain happy, harmonized, balanced, and you celebrate life, because now you are taking leap, but you're aware of it. You take a leap, you come back, like you go to the mountain, you start from the ground, you go to the mountain, you come back to the ground, because you have taken one step consciously, you reached there, but you can't stay there, you have to come back. At night everyone does grounding is what? Coming back to stability, coming back to अपने सम पे वापस आना, right? और जब हम चक्रास के हिसाब से सम पे वापस आते हैं तो हम कहते हैं first 3 chakras, after that where is the stability? It's the heart chakra, right? And then you go back up and then you come back. 3 chakras नीचे, 3 ऊपर, और बीच में सम, neutral, right? So you come back and relax in your heart again, and that is also the center of love, care, compassion, and celebration. But when you take jumping in the frequencies, you know that you're doing it, you're aware of it, and you know who you are and why you are doing it. Because even though God never rested for 6 days, he created, and on the 7th day Sabbath, he himself talked to the people. He never even rested on that day. Actually, the rest was for rest of the people, those who wanted to. But he then had a communion with people, right? So, and it is also as per the, Eastern philosophy said that, if I take rest, everybody else will follow. So what we do is we keep continuing, and we continue with full zest, harmony, and happiness, and we celebrate life, because zindagi na milegi dobara, which means that in awareness, life which is led without introspection is no life. Life which is led with awareness, ऐसी जिंदगी मिलना मुश्किल होता है, because कोई होता है, one who is monad incarnated. So if you are monad incarnated, you know who you are. Enjoy, celebrate, proceed, and let others also know who they are. Thank you so much. God bless you. Stay tuned, happy, healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.